Hi there, JD and Dyke here from the Retro Game Forum again with another video for you. This one's a video of the game, the only game from my Sega Saturn that I bought the other day that I hadn't either played before or even heard of. And the name of the game is D by Acclaim. Now this is a game that came out in the mid-90s, and it was part of some would say the FMV horrors that you got at that stage. So what I'm going to do is just going to leave you to have a quick look at the intro sequence, which I think is pretty impressive, and then we'll have a little look at the game itself. There you go, that's the intro sequence to D. Now I was quite impressed with that when I first watched it. It looked like it might be quite an interesting game with a few puzzles and such forth, and there are a couple of generally creepy moments in that intro that looked as if they came from the game themselves, such as when Laura, the character that you play in the game, turned around and there was a suit of armour right behind her, and when she laid the piece of paper into the water, and the eerie little girl was smiling back at her. So I was quite keen to try this game out, having not heard of it before. The music in that sort of intro reminded me a lot of the Resident Evil games, but as you can see according to this title screen, the game was released in 1995. Probably programmed and largely devved in 1994, I should imagine. So actually it predates the Resident Evil games, so it's likely that the Resident Evil games was slightly influenced by this, if anything. So I'm just going to press the start button now, and we'll have a look at the game itself, and we'll get another little intro sequence. Excuse me. This is Laura entering the hospital. Graphics aren't too bad either for the time, considering it's 15 years old again. But as we'll see, there's a price to pay for that. Incidentally, the D of the title stands for the daughter, which is obviously Laura, the character you play. Darkness, destiny, despair, delirium, death, and damnation. So I don't think we should expect too many laughs in this game. some more moody music setting the scene. The music actually is reminiscent of many a horror film as well. Hope Laura's not bought any food or beverages with her, or she'll be in trouble. This strange, soundless blob appears in front of Laura. In true horror film style, she can't resist investigating it further. And there, she's transported into another time, another dimension, another location, a strange castle. And now play is handed back over to the player, or handed over to the player. And as you can see, we've got a sort of first-person view here. And if I touch the left button, the view scrolls to the left. If I touch right, obviously it scrolls back to there, and then to the right again. Now I'm just going to press the forward button once now, just briefly, and you'll see what it does. I'm no longer pressing the button. So my input has finished for the moment, and as you can see, my character is just walking forward now. So obviously it's tile-based, this game. You move around and you press left and right for the direction, and forward, and the computer takes you there. Now press forward again, and presumably Laura will open the door. What a surprise, it's locked. Always lots of locked doors in this game. Well, what shall I do next? So if we then scroll back round, go forward. We're supposed to investigate all the nooks and crannies in each room, but to be honest, I don't know anyone could have the patience to do it. And it seems especially perverse as you've got a 2-hour limit to complete the game. I did a little bit of research into the plot of D on the internet, and it's got quite a different plot actually, certainly very odd, and it takes some strange turns as you go throughout the game. But I must admit, having played the first few minutes of it, the first few rooms, I don't know how anyone could have the patience to play something like this. It just seems so slow and clunky. I think it was quite well received at the time, but everyone was going a bit mental for the FMV games, and I think perhaps the shallowness of the gameplay hasn't quite hit home yet. Better days. There also seems to be no way to skip past all these scenes as well, so even if you've played the game before, you have to sort of sit through all the same cutscenes again. But obviously when you know what's coming, the atmosphere is not going to quite be the same either. So now we scroll back. I think anyone that's ever complained about the pace of the Resident Evil games, the early Resident Evil games, should play this and see that actually, in comparison, Resident Evil is quite a fast-paced game. And really, that was the game that kind of blew this sort of effort out of the water, really. Once that came along, games just weren't willing to put up with this anymore, fancy graphics or not. So we want to look into this fireplace. You're supposed to look in everywhere at what's going on, and I've just pressed forward there, and you'll see that she's looked down now, Laura, and if I press the A button, she'll investigate further and find a key. Now presumably that's a key for the locked door that we found earlier, but to be honest, by this stage I'd already lost patience with the game, and I think I loaded up D.AVI Arcade the first time I played it to have a quick go on that instead. So I'm afraid I don't know what I'm going to do with D. Probably try and sell it. Maybe there's some aficionados of these type of games, but I'm unfortunately not a fan. Bags of atmosphere, but no patience for it. So there you go, there's a quick look at D on the Sega Saturn. Thanks for watching, and I'll post another video soon. Cheers, bye.